everyone. Thank you so much for joining me for my very first yoga class. I haven't taught yoga since my teacher training, which was a couple of years ago in Bali. I am a 200-hour certified yoga teacher. So thank you so much for being part of my very first online class, very first personal class. I've been trying to figure out how I wanted to start. I was going to start it at work, but things just never worked out, and then COVID came along and it just never came to fruition. So my very first class is now online with all of you, and I thank you so much for being here with me. Be patient with me. This is my first one, so I'm still figuring stuff out again. I've been leading my own classes for myself, but yeah, so we're going to work through all the kinks, work through all the bugs, and we'll get through this together. So we're just going to start sitting on our mats. Make yourself comfortable either on your knees, cross-legged, lotus, whatever you feel like. We're just going to close our eyes and take a few deep breaths in. Just cleansing out all the old stale air, breathing in fresh, clean air to our lungs. And taking a moment here just to set an intention for your practice today. Big breath in through your nose. Big exhale through the mouth. We'll do a couple more of those. So big breath in. And deep breath out. One more time, breathing in. And exhaling through the mouth. We slowly open our eyes, and we're just going to do some really soft, gentle neck stretches. So you can use your left hand to gently pull your neck to the left. And we'll switch, and we'll turn to the right. Do some nice neck rolls here. Bring your face, or looking down and circling to the left. And again back to the right. If you have any tension here in your neck, just keep doing those nice deep breaths and send that healing energy anywhere you have any tension. And coming back to center. And slowly bringing your head back up. We're going to take a nice reach with the right arm overhead, placing the left arm out to the side of the body, and then gently leaning over towards the left. If you can, and it's accessible to you, you can bring your elbow down, and then the gaze shifts to the right hand. You want to make sure that both of your sit bones are still planted on the mat. You don't want your hip lifting off the floor. And slowly coming back to center. Reaching up with the left hand. And slowly, gently stretching over toward the right. Again, if it's accessible to you, you can plant the left elbow down, and the gaze shifts toward the left hand. And slowly coming back up to center. We're just going to do a couple of gentle twists. So placing your right hand on the outside of your left knee, your left hand behind your back. We're going to gently twist to the left. Just slowly easing in, waking up the body. Getting it ready to move and stretch with us. And then coming back to center, placing the left hand outside the right knee, the right hand behind us, and gently twisting toward the right. And coming back to center, we're going to swing the legs around and come into our tabletop. And we're just going to move into some gentle cat-cow stretches. So inhale and arching the back up. And exhale, breathing out. And curving the spine downwards, bringing the belly button toward the mat. And moving in your own breath, we'll just continue that for a few breaths here. Inhale, curling up to cow or cat. And exhale to cow. Inhaling cat. And exhaling to cow. Feel free to bring some movements in. You can twist to the left and turn the body around as you move through your cat-cow. Just helps to open up the shoulders, the hips, and twist into the left. And coming back into a tabletop, we're going to take the right hand and thread it through under the left, bringing the right shoulder to the ground and the head resting down. You can bind with your left hand over your right thigh and to thread the needle. Okay, coming out of this pose, you're going to plant the left hand back down, pushing up. As you place your right hand back on the mat, you reach back and grab the left ankle with your left hand, turning the right foot outwards and going into like a gentle back bend here. I like to call this a twisted tiger. And coming back to center, placing the left hand, left knee back on the mat. And take the left hand and thread it under the right, bringing the left shoulder down to the mat, and binding, if you can, it's in your practice, with your right hand over your left thigh. And coming out of this pose, plant the right hand down, pushing upwards, bring the left hand back to the mat. I'm going to do the same thing on this side. I'm going to reach back and grab the right ankle with the right hand, turning the left foot outwards, and then opening up into that gentle back bend on the left side. Coming back to center, planting the right hand back down, right knee back down, and pushing back into our first child's pose. And coming forward back into your tabletop, just bring your knees forward, sitting down. And bring your feet forward. And move into our boat sequence. So bringing the feet up, you can keep your knees bent. You can straighten them if you like. I prefer bent for myself. That's where I am in my practice. Hands up along the sides of alongside the knees, and just hold here. If this is too difficult, you can leave your hands down to support yourself. My dogs are about to go bananas, so don't mind them. My husband's on his way home. And just balancing here. Now, as we stay here, we're going to start moving, opening up, straightening the legs, and lowering down to the ground. Just hovering there, and then slowly coming back up. We'll do that again. Slowly lowering down, hovering here for a moment, and then bringing the legs back up. And we'll do that one more time. Slowly lowering down, and slowly coming back up. Good. Hug the knees into the chest, maybe roll it out. Rock and roll a couple of times. Massage out the back, and coming back to center. As we stay, we're just going to turn around now, come back into our tabletop, and we're going to push back into our first downward facing dog. We'll slowly walk or step to the front of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, folding down. Inhale, halfway lift, all the way up. Reaching up to the sky, and exhale slowly as you bring your hands down to heart center. Now inhale, reaching up, and exhale, folding down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step or jump the feet back, and lower down into chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. We're going to repeat this 4 more times. So inhale, step or jump to the front of the mat. Exhale, folding down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, folding down. Inhale, reaching all the way up. Exhale, bringing the hands down. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, folding all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, jump or step to the back of your mat. And lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Here we go again. So inhale, jump or step to the front of your mat. Exhale, folding down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, folding down. Inhale, reaching up. Deep breath in. Exhale, all the way down. Inhale, reaching up. And exhale, all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, jump or step to the back of your mat. And down into chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, hop or step to the front of your mat. Exhale, folding down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, folding down. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, folding down. Inhale, up. Exhale, all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, jump or step to the back of the mat and lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, jump or step to the back, front of the mat. Exhale, folding down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, folding down. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, bring your hands back to heart center. And just holding it here for a moment in mountain pose. You want to make sure that you're tightening and flexing all the muscles in the lower half of your body, your thighs, your quads, your core, everything's tightened and strong. Fingertips expanded, just shooting all that energy through the floor. Our first sequence, we're going to move into our warrior sequence. We're going to step the left foot back. Left foot plants down at a 45-degree angle. The right foot faces forward. You want your hips facing the front of your mat and bringing the hands up into your first warrior one. And exhale as you turn the back foot out toward a 90-degree angle. The hips turn and face the side of the room, and the hands come out, and your gaze shifts over your right hand. Making sure that your knee is facing forward and not pointing in. You want to make sure you open those hips. A few breaths here. And then we drop the back hand to the left thigh, flip the palm, and our gaze and our reach extends backward toward the back of the room. It's a reverse warrior. We're just going to flow through this here. We're going to go back to warrior two. And then exhale down into a lunge, side angle pose. And then inhale up to warrior two. Exhale, reverse. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, side angle. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, reverse warrior. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, side angle. Inhale, warrior two. And exhale, reverse. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, side angle. And as we sit here in side angle, we're going to come back up to warrior two. And we're going to step the feet back to the front of the mat. And we're going to come down into our Malasana. I like to practice crow from here. So Malasana is a deep squat into the heels. If you can come down this far, that's great. You can use the outsides of the arms to press into the inner thighs to help widen that stretch. And from Malasana, you can actually practice crow from here. So if crow's in your practice, or maybe it's not and you're learning, that's fine. You can use blocks to assist you here as props, or you can use a pillow. If you've never done crow before, a pillow is definitely recommended. Just in event you fall, we don't want anybody doing any face plant. So you have a pillow or a cushion or something soft or a blanket that you can put out in front of you. That is helpful. So for crow pose, you're going to plant your hands on the ground. Pardon me, I'm going to move back a little. Plant the hands down, and then you're just going to come forward. For basic crow, you can leave the knees outside the arms for more balance, and you're just going to come forward until your body allows you to pick up your feet without jumping, and you can balance here. For more advanced crow, you want your knees on the insides of your triceps, so they're a little harder to balance, a little less stable. But same idea, you're just going to lean forward until you feel that lift. I don't hold these very long right now because I do have a tear in my left wrist, but feel free to hold that as long as you like. And then coming back to Malasana, placing the hands back down on the mat, sending the feet back into your downward facing dog. Lifting the left leg back, sending it back toward the sky. Opening up the right hip, or left hip, into your three-legged dog. Maybe flipping into wild thing. And when you're ready, coming back into your three-legged dog. And then sending that left foot through into your side plank. Planting the right hand back down. Bringing the left foot back into your downward dog. Lifting up again, left foot up. And sending it through. Planting it between the hands. Planting the right foot in the back at your 45-degree angle. Adjust where you need to. Hips facing forward. Hands come up into your warrior one. When you're ready, opening up to your warrior two. The back foot opens up to a 90-degree angle. Sink down into your hips a little bit. Your hips face toward the side of the room. And the gaze is over your left hand. Again, making sure that your knee isn't coming inwards. You want to make sure that's facing forward, open toward the front of the room. When you're ready, place your right hand down on the back of your thigh. Left hand flips over and reaches toward the back. Inhale, coming back to your warrior two. Exhale, side angle. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, reverse warrior. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, side angle. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, reverse. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, side angle. Inhale, warrior two. I'm just holding here for a moment. We're going to step. Actually, you know what? We're going to plant the hands down on the mat. Send that foot back into your downward facing dog. Lifting the right foot up. Opening up the right hip. Maybe dropping down into wild thing. Planting the right hand back down on the mat. Sending the right foot through into your side plank. Planting the left hand back down. Stepping back. Right leg kicks up. Step between the feet. And bring the left foot to meet the right at the front of the mat. We're just going to hang here in a forward fold. Bend the knees as much as you need to. If you have a stiff back, bend the knees as much as you need to bring your chest and your stomach down to the tops of your thighs. And we're just going to hang out here for a moment. When you're ready, placing the hands down. We're going to straighten the legs out. And nice deep bend. We're going to swing the arms up into chair. You want to make sure that your tailbone is curved downwards. You're sucking your belly button towards your spine. From here, we're going to bring our hands down into prayer position. We're going to hook the outside of the right elbow to the left thigh. You're going to pick up your right toes into a one-legged chair here, twisted chair, and then send that foot to the back of the mat so you're in a twisted side lunge. You're going to plant the right hand down on the mat, and then send the left foot to meet the right in the side plank. And come back to center. Bring the left foot forward. Coming back up to your twist. And move my blocks out of the way. Coming back to your twist. Bringing the right foot back to meet the left. And we'll move into a side crow. Why not, right? So you're planting both hands down on the mat on the outside of the left leg. And then once you find that balance, you lift one at a time if you like. You can lift both at the same time. When you found that balance, just bringing the left to meet the right. And coming back down. Hold it as long as you like. Like I said, I don't hold these very long right now because of my wrist. But it's fun to practice them anyway. Alright, so back into our chair. Reaching up. Tailbone curved down. And then back into prayer. Twisting to the right, so you're hooking the left elbow over the outside of the right thigh, right knee. lifting that left foot off the ground and sending it backwards into a twisted side lunge. You're going to plant the left hand down on the mat and then send the right foot to meet the left, opening up into side plank. Okay, coming back to center, turn back around, step the right foot back to the front of the room. Right or left elbow hooks around the right knee, and stepping the left foot to meet the right. This is my weak side, so we're gonna try side curl on from the left or the right or whatever you want to call it. So planting the hands down beside the feet. And then slowly coming up. And like I said, I don't hold those very long right now because of my wrist. So once you've gotten there, we're going to send the feet back into your downward facing dog. Bring the knees down and take your second child pose. You guys worked hard there. Deserve a break. When you're ready, coming forward, tucking the feet or curling the feet under, sending your hips back up into your downward facing dog. And we're going to come forward into high plank, lowering down to chaturanga, back up to high plank, lower down to chaturanga. You can do this from your knees if you need to. Back up to high plank, lower down to chaturanga. Back to high plank, lower down chaturanga, and back to high plank, and slowly lower down chaturanga, holding it here, and then release, upward facing dog, and sending the hips back, downward facing dog. And hopper step to the front of the mat. Bend your knees a lot. Give yourself a hug if you like. You're doing such a good job. Okay, bring the hands down. Halfway lift. Fold all the way down. Take a reach up to the sky. As you lift your left hand over the right, or left leg, over the right, twisting into your eagle pose. So left arm, binds under your right into your first standing balance. Unwinding here. You take that left foot and you place it on your right inner thigh. If this isn't acceptable, or not acceptable, sorry, if this is not accessible to you, you can leave your foot down here. You just never want to leave your foot on your knee. You never want to put pressure on the inside of your knee. So whether you're here, or you're here, or you're here, wherever your practice takes you, we're coming into our tree pose. You can bring the hands to heart center, or you can extend overhead and express your tree. If you want to wave it around like a tree in the wind, feel free. I like to describe this as a glowing palm tree on the beach, where I'd rather be right now. And the left foot comes forward and extends forward. Lose my balance a little. As high as you can and just hold. Good. We're going to bend the knee and we're going to send it backwards to your warrior three. As we come back to standing, if you can, you're going to grab your left ankle with your left hand and extend back to dancer. Bringing that foot down to meet the right. Taking a deep breath in, shake it out. I'm sure your right leg is burning like mine is. And we're going to move into the left side. So the right leg comes over the left and twists around. Lose my balance already. Right leg over the left. Hook it if you can. If you're not and you're here, that's totally fine. Right arm under the left. Into your eagle. Coming out of your eagle, taking the right foot, and planting it on the left thigh or calf or wherever is accessible to you, coming into our tree pose. And again, you can extend the arms overhead and express your tree however you choose. If you want to really challenge yourself, you can close your eyes here. I don't do that. I don't have enough balance for that. If you really want to challenge yourself, try closing your eyes. I'm just going to float my tree. Pretend I'm a palm tree on the beach in Cuba or somewhere warm. We have a brisk -13 here this week. Bring your hands back down at heart center. Extending the right foot forward. And then just holding it there. Dudley's coming to visit today. Just holding here. As high as you can. And bend the knee. Send it back toward the back of the room. Losing my balance. And extending the arms forward. And bringing the leg back forward, grabbing the right ankle with the right arm, and extending into your dancer. Got too many distractions down here now. And when you're ready, bring the foot forward to meet the right, planting it down. We're going to come back down, hands down to the mat, sanding the feet back to the back of the mat into your downward dog. And just pedaling out the feet here, releasing any of that tightness or soreness or stiffness that came from the balancing sequence. Just pedaling it out here, loosening back up. And when you're ready, bring the right foot up, bend the knee, and slide it down between the hands into your pigeon pose. The further forward you can bring your foot onto the mat is the more of a hip opening that you can get. Lovely. Come on, mister. Come on down. Come on. No, don't lay. I need you to lie down, bud. Come on. Come on, come here. Come on. Good. Lay down. Right there. Good boy. Good boy. Okay. And you can come down into your resting pigeon if it's accessible to you. Stop. Stop. Dudley's licking my feet. Dudley will probably join us for many practices. He's a bit of a camera hog, but he never likes to do what I tell him to do when he's on camera. I'm just going to hold here in resting pigeon. If it's accessible to you, I like to bring my foot forward for this, or back toward my body for this. You can grab your left ankle with your left toes with your left hand and bring them toward the body, just to really give yourself a nice deeper, it really deepens the stretch of the hips and the quads and helps loosen up any really tight hip flexor muscles that you might have from sitting for a long period of time now that we're all working from home. I'm not working from home, but I still sit in a chair a lot. The hands back down, curling the toes under, and sending the right foot back to meet the left. Lifting the right foot, or left foot, sorry, and sending the right knee between the hands, opening up as much as you can, as much as is comfortable, into your pigeon pose on the left. And when you're ready, sliding or easing down into your resting pigeon. In pigeon, it's important to keep your the foot flexed on the leg you're working. So in this case, we're on the left. Make sure to keep your left foot flexed just to protect the left knee. And if it's accessible, you can stay in pigeon, or you can reach for the right foot and pull toward the body, just to deepen the stretch. Ready, releasing the back foot. Swing the right leg around. And we're just going to come into some forward folds. So leaving the left foot bent, or the left knee bent, sorry, the left foot in toward the thigh. We're just going to stretch toward the right foot. If you're really tight here, you can use a strap. This one is from Everstretch, and it's a pretty heavy duty strap. It works really well. Just going to hook the strap around the foot and just pull gently. You never want to pull it around and back, so just make sure that you do have a nice straight back when you're working on these. And to prevent any hamstring injuries, just keep that hamstring activated. So you want to really flex and make sure that that's nice and tight so it's not loose and you're not pulling on a loose muscle. I've had enough hamstring injuries that I can tell you don't want one. They take a long time to heal, and you just lose all your progress when it happens. So just activating the muscles in the hamstring as you sit here and fold toward the foot. Okay, we're just going to switch it around here and take the left foot to the outside of your left hip, and we're going to fold forward. Again, keeping it in mind to keep the left or your right hamstring activated here as you stretch. I'm going to try and speed some of this up, maybe shorten a little so that we don't run out of time. So we're going to switch to the right side, the right foot in toward the left thigh, and stretch toward the left foot, making sure that your left hamstring is activated. And turning the right foot to the outside of the right hip and stretching forward. You just need to adjust to get your balance. Isn't he sweet? And coming up, placing both feet together, and just folding forward. Again, you can use your strap here if you need to. And remembering not to pull on a rounded back. Okay, we're going to come into a hero pose. I'm just going to get my bolster here. It's still in its bag, but you'll get the idea of it anyway. So you're going to come down, both feet outside the hips, just like we were in the, I'm going to turn around so you can see a little bit better when I do this. But both feet outside the hips, so that your sitting bones come in between toward the mat. And if you can, and it's accessible to you, you can lean all the way back into a resting hero. If this is a challenge for you, you can use your bolster or a pillow or anything that would give you some little bit of height. And you can use that just to elevate it and make it more comfortable. And you can also do sleeping hero using the bolster. You're just slowly coming down to rest on the mat. Bring the arms up overhead. And this is a nice deep hip opener, especially for the front hip flexors. I know mine, with a lot of sitting, they get really sore, really tight. It makes it really painful, sometimes walking or just getting up out of the chair. That can be really painful. So I found that this pose, along with pigeon and some nice deep lizard stretches, it's really helped to alleviate any of that soreness and tightness. So these are great stretches to practice if you have really tight hips. And if sleeping hero isn't in your practice, just sitting in hero is perfectly acceptable. Okay, when you're ready, slowly coming upwards. If you're in sleeping hero, just giving yourself a little bit of assistance there, pushing yourself back up. And coming back to seated. I'm going to come into butterfly. I'm going to move back because my dog's in the way. So bringing your feet together in front of you, spreading the feet or opening the feet up with your hands and using your elbows to push the thighs down and deepen the stretch. And we're going to just extend the legs a little bit forward. Bring the arms through and under. And we're just going to fold forward gently. No, you're not pulling on your back here. It's just a gentle forward fold into an open butterfly. And coming back up. And just opening the feet to a wide leg fold. You're grabbing on the outside of your feet if it's accessible to you. You can stay here if you like, just with your hands on the mat, elbows on the mat, wherever you are in your practice. But again, never pulling on a rounded spine. Okay, and coming back up. We're going to move into Happy Baby before our final Shavasana, just because we're running out of time. So coming down onto your back, grabbing from the outside of your feet, and just rocking from side to side. This is also another great hip opener. When my hips are tight, I really feel it in this pose. It actually feels really nice today. So just rocking from side to side gently before bringing your feet down to the mat. And just windshield washer, or windshield wiper, like side to side. So loosen it up. And then extending your feet out towards the edge of your mat. If you have lower back pain or anything else, bolsters are great for that as well. This one's from Ajna Wellbeing. You can find them on their website or by checking them out on Instagram. It's nice and firm. I really like this one. And you can just put it there under your knees. You can change the height if you need to, if you need it a little bit higher. And it just takes the pressure off your back. So just making your way here into your final Shavasana. Taking a few breaths here, remembering your intention from the start of the practice. And staying here as long as you want, as long as you need. I want to thank you for joining me today in my very first class, not just online, but since my yoga training 2 years ago. So thank you very much for joining me today, or for those of you who join me in future. I really hope you enjoyed this practice. If you have any feedback, feel free to comment on the video or send me a DM. I'd love to hear what you think. I think once a week I'll probably share a flow, and maybe once or twice a week I'll share a workout. So yeah, let me know what you think, if you like the videos, if there's anything you'd like to see added or changed. I'd love to hear some feedback. So just taking some deep breaths here in your final Shavasana. And stay here as long as you need. Namaste.